I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
Yes, the widely anticipated debate came, and a lot of people are having mixed reactions, partaking to a lot of things. You can see Meghan Kelly, she's not happy. Taylor Swift came out just after the debate, to draw more attention to Kamala. It was something planned. They planned that a long time. Ask yourself why Taylor Swift could not do that before, just after the debate, to pretend like, oh, I've done my research. That is the impression she wanted to put out, but she failed, giving out the reason she is voting for Kamala and mentioning some kind of things. It triggered a lot of people. On this video, we are going to look into undecided voters.
I just finished putting my daughter to bed and wanted to share my thoughts on tonight's debate. So this debate clearly pandered to the existing base of each candidate, but I don't think did anything for the undecided voter. This is why it is so important for the undecided voter to do their own research. To Kamala supporters, she came off as very strong. To Trump supporters, Trump came off as targeted by the left-wing moderators who clearly skewed representation in favor of Kamala. But here's the reality. If you're living in America today, you probably watch this while also thinking about a chronically sick child, a parent, or a friend. On issues of healthcare, we don't need more sick care programs. We need less sick people and healthy food. And that is precisely the plan we have in motion with President Trump. I can personally tell you that the worst part of watching tonight's debate for me was the American public couldn't see who is standing behind each candidate. Behind Trump is a whole movement of Make America Healthy Again and putting an end to the industrial war complex. Behind Kamala are the BlackRock executives who are running offices out of Kiev because the war in Ukraine is so enriching for them. Behind her also are the big pharma executives who have pocketed trillions off of taxpayers via the Affordable Care Act. I wanted to see something very compelling from Trump tonight because that's the candidate that has embraced making America healthy again, fixing the economy, and putting an end to military escalation. It is no secret that Kamala received favorable treatment by the ABC moderators, but the left, and especially boomers on the left, they can't see it.
Yes. Do you know what pains me the most? Is when I saw CNN doing fact check that Kamala lied just once. I was shocked when I saw that. They said Trump lied like 19 times. You can clearly see how they want to program people supporting her like Trump is a liar. They want to paint him like that. We clearly saw about, in fact, I cannot even count how many times she had lied. But these people will clearly tell you that is a lie. Just example, Project 2025, this same CNN, debunked that like Trump is not in support. Even the ex-founder came out and said like, Trump is not part of that project. He made it on CNN, but Kamala still continued to spew at the same lie, talking about banning abortion. These are lies that we all know.
We still have to have a controlled border, a secure border, because, yeah, we've had a lot of people going through the border illegally. My family went through a long process to get here legally. So I feel that it's unfair for hundreds of thousands to get here without problems, and then for the federal government to help them out. We've also lost Americans because how many illegals we're letting in, like the young boy from Ohio who had killed by illegal immigrants.
Have made up your minds based on what you saw tonight on stage in Philadelphia. Raise your hands. All right, I want to ask you why. What did you see that brought you to a conclusion?
I think it's important to remember that we are voting for the leader of our country and not who we like the most or who we want in our wedding party, but who is actually going to make our country better. And we're in an incredibly unique situation where we've had both of the candidates in office before, and we've gotten to see what they would do. And when facts come to facts, my life was better when Trump was in office. The economy was higher, inflation was lower, things were better overall. And now with Kamala's administration, things haven't been so fantastic. And she's saying she can fix the problems that her administration has caused, but I just don't know if I can afford to take that risk.
Were you leaning towards the former president coming into the night?
Probably.
And did you vote for him in 2016 or 2020?
I did.
So, decision made there. What did you think?
As to who I would vote for in this election, I strongly felt Kamala was more optimistic, more respectful. I thought she had plans that she tried to describe in the minute's worth of time that she had. I mean, they really were limited with their time. So, I don't know, I just felt more strongly for her as opposed to her opponent.
Yes. Out of 10 people, the number I saw supporting Trump is shocking. Undecided voters are not convinced that Kamala can handle the economy. Even CNN polls stated clearly it is impossible for her to still convince people that she can do it. If she could not do it during the past 3 years, she will not still continue during the 4 years. So it is important for people to see that they're realizing the kind of lies. Questions surfaced to Kamala about the economy. She did not play a greater role in actually putting out herself for people to see what she would do. The kind of thing she said cannot even convince someone to change their mind.
It is no secret that Kamala received favorable treatment by the ABC moderators, but the left, and especially boomers on the left, they can't see it. They are under the spell of the mainstream media, and they are programmed to see Trump as a felon and a liar. The moderators tonight were so quick to fact check Trump, but conveniently ignored Harris repeating things like the Charlottesville hoax, which has been debunked by Snopes, or her false claim about police officers being killed on January 6th. These are blatant lies, and they're easily disproven, yet they were left completely unchallenged by two of the supposedly top journalists in the industry. As independent voters, we have an uphill battle to climb to show the undecided voters and the brainwashed left how the system is actually set up to skew narratives, hide the truth, and convince Americans to be blind and vote against their own interest. I strongly urge all of you to think critically and do your own research.
Very important, do your research. That is simple. Do your research. Don't fall for the trap of liberals trying to paint some kind of things. Do your research.
When I first heard that we were abandoning or we were withdrawing from Afghanistan,
though there were certain loopsy things I expected him to say.
Trump has come in the spin room, just so you know, that has happened. And he is desperately trying to get the attention that I think he needs as oxygen at this point, even though I think that most of the people in this room that are here spinning on his behalf know that he had a bad night.
Is he literally standing there like he's his own surrogate, trying to get people to talk to him about his own performance?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. He walked in the room. We knew that something was going on because Secret Service was around, but everybody was assuming it was going to be J.D. Vance. It's actually Donald Trump walked into the spin room to spin on his own behalf.
Wow. That's something. That is not a sign of strength or confidence in your own performance when you're trying to extend past the final bell there. This is live images of what's happening there in the spin room.
Bruh. Did you watch the debate? Of course you did. Did Kamala Harris move the needle? Of course she didn't. Did she say anything new? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, she was repeating the same things Joe Biden said in the past. She brought up Charlottesville. Of course, they brought up January the 6th. And of course, not only was President Trump debating Kamala Harris, but he was also debating the moderators. Can we get a debate where President Trump is actually debating the person that's on stage with him and not the moderators as well? And then the moderators lied. You know, they're actually eating these ducks and these cats. A woman got arrested for eating a cat. But the moderator was like, you know, that we talked to the city manager and it's not actually happening. Really? Really? Give me a break.
You can clearly see the murder when Trump took the decision to enter the spin room. Liberals panicked because he had to take interviews directly from journalists. You know, Kamala cannot do that. She was nowhere to be found.
Apparently, this is newly reported by NBC News, Vice President Kamala Harris has spoken recently and repeatedly with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Paul makes this point a lot. It's
MSNBC, we all know what they do. They create content. They don't report real news.
So first of all, I'll give you my frank assessment of where things do stand in the race. Yeah. She did have a lot of momentum coming out of the convention, even coming out of her announcement as the presumptive nominee. I do think a lot of that already has stalled, and it's stalled principally around issues of policy.
She should take about another 4 years to do what she could not do in 4 years. It is insane to think that...
You really want Trump to lose this election, right? No, you don't?
No.
Really?
The one thing that's certain, if he loses, Kamala Harris will be president of the United States. And I wholly oppose almost every single one of her positions. I think she's a vacuous opportunist. I totally reject the idea that in the space of 48 hours, she went from a subpar vice president, everyone recognized as such, all of a sudden to the second coming of Barack Obama.